Whether you're a frequent viewer or just a general fan of the horror community, you're bound to know what a creepypasta is. But for those that don't, creepypastas are internet horror stories often written by amateur writers in online forums such as the Creepypasta wiki. These stories are essentially copied and pasted all over the internet. These short horrors often rise to fame, gaining their own fandoms, fan art, cosplays, and in very rare cases, their own productions. An important thing to remember in these cases are that the stories themselves are not at fault. Rather, these killings and attacks are due to the perpetrators either being mentally unstable or generally just too drawn into the stories. Creepypastas are a form of literature that should be in no way taken seriously. In these 4 cases of taking a story to heart, the consequences were deadly. Number 4. Of all the creepypastas that are written and shared on a near daily basis, the most popular of them all is Slender Man, a white-faced, tall, ghoulish figure who stands in the woods or outside your window. He then kidnaps you for something. It's unclear what Slenderman uses the children for, as the story has several variations. However, 2 12-year-old girls were so moved by the story they attempted to kill a close friend. On Saturday, May 31st, 2014, Morgan Geyser and Anissa Weyer took their friend, who was the same age, into the woods near a bike path and stabbed her 19 times. The victim managed to crawl toward a ditch adjacent to the bike path. Fortunately, a cyclist saw her and called 911.
911. What's the address of your emergency?
Waukesha County, Lindy. I'm transferring over a caller on Big Bend at the dead end just south of Rivera.
Okay.
Came upon a 12-year-old female. She appears to be stabbed.
She appears to be what?
Stabbed.
Stabbed?
Correct.
Okay.
Sir, you still there?
Yes.
Hi, sir. So, are you with this 12-year-old female?
Yeah, she says she's having trouble breathing. She said she was stabbed multiple times.
Stabbed multiple times?
Yeah.
Is there any bleeding going on?
Her clothing has got blood on it.
Where are the wounds? Do you see where the wounds are?
No, I don't know if I should be rolling her over and checking or not. Do you know where?
Okay, just stay with her and just let me know if she's conscious or alert or stops breathing or anything. Hold on, I'm going to talk to the ambulance. Police are also en route.
Okay, thank you.
The victim was rushed to the hospital where she sought treatment and miraculously survived. She had been stabbed in the legs, arms, and abdomen with a large kitchen knife. Out of the 19 stab wounds, 2 of them were to major arteries, one was less than a millimeter from her heart, and another cut right through her liver and stomach. When the girls were interrogated in relation to the assault, they claimed they did it for Slender Man. They feared him and thought he would come and kill their families if they did not gain his approval by offering him a sacrifice. They believed that if they successfully killed their friend, that Slender Man would allow them to live in his mansion in Nicolet National Forest. They also hoped to become his proxies, which are his servants that act in accordance to his control. During investigations, the 2 girls continued to lay blame on the other, so it's not certain who made the plans to stab their friend. As of now, the 2 girls are standing trial as adults. One of the girls was diagnosed with early onset childhood schizophrenia, and according to reports, the other girl was diagnosed with a shared delusion, which improved after separation from her sidekick. The girls have a bond of $500,000, and if they are found guilty, they will be given roughly 45 years in prison, but will have chances for early release. Number 3. In July of 2014, there was yet another knife attack brought on by the ever-so-famous Slender Man. This one comes from Hamilton County, Cincinnati. In this case, a mother was attacked by her 13-year-old daughter, who had a long pre-existing obsession with the character. The mother came home one night to find her daughter waiting for her in the kitchen, sporting a black hoodie that covered most of her body and a plain white mask that concealed her face. The horror of walking in to find your child dressed like this, waiting for you in silence, is probably an unbearable fear that most of us will never experience. The mother claims that her daughter suffered from anxiety and depression, but she never thought her mental health would come to this point. She also stated that the teen often drew dark art in relation to demons, insanity, and just pure darkness. As far as her Slender Man obsession, she made plenty of art of him, talked about him often, and even created an entire world for him on Minecraft. The attack left the mother with several minor injuries, one of which was a small puncture wound in her back. The mother urges parents to keep an eye on their children's mental health, understanding of reality, and what kind of content they're reading and becoming involved in. The young girl is currently in a juvenile facility, and most details of her case are not publicized due to her young age. Seeing as the incidents were so close in time, the mother believes that the first Slenderman stabbing case may have influenced her daughter, or that she was under a similar influence as the two girls in the previous case. Number 2. In early September of 2014, the media was graced with yet another Slenderman-fueled act of violence. In this case, a 14-year-old girl, the oldest so far, set fire to her home while her mother and younger brother were asleep. On an early Thursday morning, this teen's mother and 9-year-old brother were still sound asleep in bed when she soaked a sheet in rum and bleach, set it ablaze, and left it in the trash can. The teen fled the scene. The mother and brother managed to escape the home, and firefighters showed up to end the flames at around 1:45 a.m. The teen was found several hours later at a park and taken into custody. She had a bag filled with water, cookies, knives, lighters, flashlights, and blank paper. Investigators speculate this was so she could hide out, or may have even had something to do with her Slenderman delusions. While she was gone, she texted her mother, "I'm sorry, Mom, I don't know why I did it." And she also asked if anyone had been hurt because the news on TV wasn't confirming. Investigators found that the teen had been reading Soul Eater, researching Slenderman, and writing in her journal about the two girls from the first case. It seems as if these two teens sparked a trend amongst young fans of Slenderman to act out in violence. Unless, of course, you're one of the few on the internet that speculate Slenderman is real and he's actually influencing these girls. Yes, there are certain groups of people, conspiracy theorists and horror fans alike, that speculate these killings are not due to mental illness, lost grips of reality, or even immaturity, but rather caused by Slenderman himself. Of course, these are just internet theories, but it's something to keep you up at night. In this case, the 14-year-old faced charges of arson and attempted murder. Number 1. Laughing Jack is a creepypasta clown who befriends lonely children by cutting them open and replacing their organs with candy. In the original creepypasta about Laughing Jack, he murders one of the children he is friends with, and when the parents find the boy, they attempt to stab Jack, but instead stab the corpse of the child. When police arrive, it of course appears as though one of the parents committed the murder, and as a result, they are charged and sent to a mental institution. Aside from this being a disturbing creepypasta in general, it became even more chilling in July of 2015 when a 12-year-old girl from Indiana used the story and its star character to kill her stepmother. The young girl from Elkhart, Indiana, set her home ablaze after stabbing her stepmother, Murrieta. When the girl was questioned, she explained that Laughing Jack had urged her to do it. Though the details of how Laughing Jack convinced her to do so were never released, the young girl was declared unfit to stand trial and was forced to stay in a correctional facility because 16 different asylums and wards refused to take her in. According to her statement, the girl had been hearing voices and begging her father to help her seek medical help for several months before the incident. Many are using this case as a commentary on how the system fails youth suffering from mental illness. The girl was diagnosed with multiple personality disorder, post-traumatic stress disorders, and obviously she shows signs of moderate schizophrenia as well. Even living in the correctional facility and taking medications, she begged the staff to help her and claimed that she still heard and saw the killer clown. The girl's current standing, alone in a facility haunted by this clown, is eerily similar to the end of the actual creepypasta. Was this girl truly suffering from a mental disorder? Or did she just become too involved in a whimsical story of a fun clown that murders in his downtime? Perhaps it's a mix of the two.